with all the changes happening in the economy and people getting laid off and looking into cybersecurity careers, I think now's a great time to talk about certifications and what's the difference between the GSEC and the CRISC. I will always refer to the CISSP as the standard for cybersecurity certification, but for the really technical people, the GIAC Security Essential Certification, GSEC, takes your career down a whole more advanced avenue. The GIAC Security Essentials GSEC certification verifies a cybersecurity professional has in-depth knowledge of information security and they are qualified to perform sophisticated security tasks. As an added value, the cert is DoD 8140 approved, which makes it easier to get hired quickly for a Department of Defense information technology position. The exam covers a variety of areas that are more geek and guru than compliance and governance. Defense in depth, access control and password management, cryptography concepts, algorithms, deployment and application, cloud, AWS, and Azure operations, defensible network architecture, networking protocols, and network security, incident handling and response, data loss prevention, mobile device security, vulnerability scanning, and penetration testing are all included on the test. Linux fundamentals, hardening and securing, SIEM, critical controls, and exploit mitigation, web communication security, virtualization and cloud security, not to mention endpoint security, and Windows access controls for automation, auditing, forensics, security infrastructure, and services are critical to becoming a GSEC expert. This exam really tests your technical capabilities and is recommended for information technology professionals looking to increase their income with a focus on security. A career as a security analyst or penetration tester are realistic options once you earn this professional designation. Security pros such as auditors, forensics, security administrators, engineers, and managers have a leg up with the GSEC. The certification objectives and outcome statements involve access control and password management, how to secure containers and understand security features provided in Mac OS, understanding cryptography and the major types of crypto systems and steganography, the mathematical concepts that contribute to cryptography and commonly use symmetric, asymmetric, and hashing crypto systems, and a high-level understanding of the use, functionality, and operation of VPNs, GPG, and PKI encryption are necessary. Data loss prevention and mobile device security are key areas on the exam and in business. Defense in depth, key areas of security, and various strategies for implementing effective security are spotlighted. Defensible network architecture zooms in on how to architect a network for monitoring and intrusion prevention. The function and use of endpoint security devices, firewalls, host intrusion detection, and prevention systems are elite skills. Enforcing Windows security policy highlights the features of group policy and working with security templates. Within the training, incident handling and response can be picked out as a whole career field of its own. Being knowledgeable of the Linux operating system structure, vulnerabilities, and permissions opens up financial opportunities in the field. Securing, hardening, and auditing Linux systems is an exam requirement and a job function for most security teams. The importance of logging, configuring logging, and log analysis with SIEM solutions are highlighted. malicious code and exploit mitigation strategies for threats affecting modern business environments. The candidate will demonstrate understanding of firewalls, network IDS, IPS, and other network security devices. Network protocols and network protocol stacks are essential foundations. There are specific tips regarding the purpose, implementation, and background of security frameworks, CIS controls, and the MITRE attack knowledge. Virtualization and cloud security risks have to be talked about since most companies use these technologies to save money. Vulnerability scanning and penetration testing reconnaissance, network mapping, resource protection, risk, threats, and vulnerability handling are career-ready capabilities. Web application security and related CGI, cookie, SSL, and active content vulnerabilities have to be reviewed. Most corporations use Microsoft operating systems and always need people to manage Windows access controls for Active Directory, file system, shared folders, registry keys, and more. Test takers must know the most efficient ways to manage updates for a network of Windows hosts. Windows automation, auditing, and forensic techniques and technologies used to evaluate Windows systems are extremely important. Identifying the differences between Windows operating systems and how to manage Active Directory and group policy are critical to Windows security infrastructure. Securing IPsec, IIS, remote desktop services, Microsoft Azure, and other Windows network services must be mentioned. Wireless network security dives into misconceptions, risk, and how to protect them. The proctored exam includes over 100 questions with a 4-hour time limit to complete. Remote proctoring through ProctorU or on-site proctoring through PersonView are the available options. GSEC offers excellent training through CyberLive, a hands-on testing lab environment to help verify the knowledge required. Lab programs, code, and virtual machines allow you to assess skills and abilities without impacting a live business network infrastructure. CyberLive asks questions that require performance of cybersecurity tasks that would be completed in specialized job roles. Real-world experience is needed to master the skills necessary to pass the certification. College courses and self-paced study always push learning towards new accomplishments. Taking practice tests as a simulation of the real exam makes you more familiar with the material that increases your earning potential. Practice exams help gauge whether the preparation methods are sufficient. Obviously, practice exam questions are never the same on the actual test, but are a wonderful tool. GSEC recommends incorporating multiple study methods for test preparation. As a professional GSEC holder, you are ready to take on a 6-figure career as a senior security operations analyst working from home. In this position, you need to monitor alert channels for CM, SOAR, EDR, IDS, and IPS detections and incidents. Following investigation, containment, triage, and mitigation of findings, continuously tuning rules helps reduce false positives. Provide incident response technical solutions, ticketing, documentation, and post-mortem way forward. Senior analysts are empowered to handle an alert from end to end with communication of outcomes. Tuning endpoint detection and response, intrusion detection and prevention systems to improve detection and reduce noise. Coordinate with security engineering to enhance security tool utilization and response to capabilities. Inspire InfoSec developers to build security automation workflows and enrichments to mitigate critical findings. evaluate corporate information security policies, procedures, and recommend updates to executives, promote threat intelligence program maturity and report on the current and future threat landscape, communicate a thorough overview of enterprise risks and threats with potential remediation options, improve correlation, situational awareness, and intel enrichment for threat detection. In addition to cybersecurity skill set, programming and scripting experience with Bash, Python, or PowerShell comes in handy. Also, any forensic or malware analysis experience bumps a resume to the top of the heap. The GSEC Security Essential Certification is a great bridge into becoming a remote penetration test engineer. This job requires someone to champion vulnerability assessments and penetration tests of the business network, infrastructure, mobile, and web applications, identifying manual testing, automated scanning, and social engineering vulnerabilities. Developing custom scripts to automate testing improves efficiency. Executive leadership expects detailed security reports containing a summary of findings, recommendations, and remediation steps. Explain complex security issues effectively to a technical and non-technical audience. Present findings and recommendations to clients in a professional and engaging manner. Bolster certified ethical hacking techniques with email, phone, or social engineering assessments. Pen testers also use Perl, Python, or Ruby shell scripting and automation. Developing, extending, or modifying exploits, shellcode, or exploit tools are going to come at a great value to any business. You will also be expected to create applications and tools in various programming languages. Do you know how to conduct reverse engineering for malware, data obfuscators, or ciphers? Wireless, web application, and network security testing solution expertise is required as a pen tester. In-depth knowledge of network protocols, data on the wire, and covert channels to coordinate with the network engineering team. Understanding Windows, Mac, Unix, and Linux operating systems to find the gaps in protection. Experience with intrusion prevention system, intrusion detection system, firewalls, and security information and event management make a well-rounded candidate. With so many options available in the cybersecurity career path, I know quite a few people that are curious on what are the differences between different certifications. Why should I choose one between the other? So I decided to put together a couple of videos for comparison so you can see for yourself what's the best option. Do you want to go down a particular path for really being technical and hands-on and threat mapping and doing the really in the grains, in the weeds, technical stuff, hacking, certified ethical hacker, a security engineer, someone that knows how to go in and configure IAM services? Or are you looking more towards the governance side? Are you wanting to perform vulnerability assessments, look at cybersecurity policy, or even get your hands involved in writing cybersecurity policy? We're talking pages and pages of documentation for all of the specific requirements for your company. But if you have the time, just listen to this video, soak up the knowledge, and I wish you all the best in your cybersecurity future. An ISACA certified in Risk and Information Systems Control CRISC certification demonstrates an IT cybersecurity professional's expertise in risk management. ISACA offers a CRISC online review course, a questions, answers, and explanations database, and a review manual in digital or printed format. The CRISC test goes in depth to validate proficiency in handling the challenges of a cybersecurity risk management expert. The 4 domains of the exam spotlight corporate IT governance, IT risk assessment, risk response and reporting, and information technology and security. A search on Indeed.com for IT risk management opportunities shows thousands of results. The titles of Manager of IT Governance, Risk, and Compliance, or Senior Director of Risk Management, Vice President of Cybersecurity Risk Management, and of course, Chief Information Security Officer are all on the table for a well-versed CRISC holder. The bedrock of cybersecurity risk management is corporate IT governance. Organizational governance, organizational strategy, goals, and objectives, organizational structure, roles, and responsibilities, organizational culture, policies and standards, business processes, and organizational assets. Corporate IT governance also discusses risk governance, enterprise risk management, the 3 lines of defense, risk profile, risk appetite and risk tolerance, legal, regulatory, and contractual requirements, and professional ethics of risk management. As an IT risk management authority, it is paramount to grasp the business culture, risk appetite, and blanket obligations to realize victories in risk management governance. The IT risk assessment domain targets IT risk identification, risk events, threat modeling and threat landscape, vulnerability and control deficiency analysis, including root cause analysis and gap analysis, risk scenario development, and IT risk analysis and evaluation. IT risk assessment also highlights risk assessment concepts, standards, and frameworks, the risk register, risk analysis methodologies, business impact analysis, and inherent and residual risk. Intimate participation and execution of the risk assessment planning awards a savvy risk officer. Risk response and reporting gives the green light to maneuver with risk response, risk treatment and risk response options, risk and control ownership, third-party risk management, issue finding and exception management, management of emerging risk. Risk response and reporting continues with control design and implementation, control types, standards, and frameworks, control design, selection, and analysis, control implementation, control testing and effectiveness evaluation, risk monitoring and reporting, risk treatment plans, and risk action plans. With so many control factors to consider, how will your business organize the implementation of all of these opportunities to improve your cybersecurity posture? Finally, data collection, aggregation, analysis, and validation, risk and control monitoring techniques, risk and control reporting techniques involving heat map, scorecards, and dashboards, key performance indicators, key risk indicators, and key control indicators. An expansive catalog of information technology and security subjects are visible in the closing discipline. Information technology principles, enterprise architecture, IT operations management, project management, disaster recovery management, data lifecycle management, system development lifecycle, emerging technologies, information security principles, information security concepts, frameworks, and standards, information security awareness training, business continuity management, data privacy, and data protection principles. These are all topics a chief risk management professional must comprehend to deliver on expectations.